Amina lived in a village called Yango. Amina was the most beautiful girl anyone had ever seen. Her eyes sparkled like the morning sun and her smile could stop anyone in their tracks. She was a student at Yango Secondary School, and wherever she went, people whispered about her beauty. Amina is too beautiful for her own good, old Mama Zainab would say, while selling her groundnuts in the market. But Amina was not just beautiful, she was also clever. She knew how to use her beauty to get what she wanted. Unfortunately, Amina's heart was full of pride. She believed the world owed her everything because of how she looked. At Yango Secondary School, Amina's teachers adored her. She was always smiling, always cheerful and always wearing her uniform just a little tighter than the others. One of her teachers, Mr. Ade, taught mathematics. He was known to be strict, but with Amina, he became as soft as pap. One day, Amina stayed behind after class. She hadn't completed her assignment and Mr. Ade was angry. But instead of scolding her, she leaned close to him and whispered, "Sir, I can make it up to you." Mr. Ade was weak. He looked at Amina and forgot all the rules he had followed for years. That was the beginning. Soon, Amina was always spending extra time with Mr. Okoro, the history teacher, and Mr. Bala, the biology teacher. Because of her special relationship with her teachers, Amina's grade became the highest in the school. Everyone believed she was the smartest girl in Yango. "She's going to be a great woman," the principal said one day during assembly. Her classmates envied her. "How does she do it?" they whispered. Nobody dared to question her though. Amina walked with her head high as if she were a queen. After she finished secondary school, Amina moved to the city for university. Life in the city was very different. There were no teachers to favor her and her old habits didn't work as easily. But Amina had learned how to survive by using her beauty. In university, she found men who promised her riches. Businessmen, politicians, and even married men became her friends. They bought her expensive clothes, phones, and even paid her rent. Amina believed she was living the good life. But the truth was, her foundation was weak. She had no real education and no skills. All she had was her beauty, and it was beginning to fade. One day, while attending a party, Amina met a wealthy man named Chief Kola. He was older, but he promised to marry her. Amina was excited. This is my big break, she thought. They got married in a grand ceremony, but the marriage didn't last long. Chief Kola was cruel. He treated Amina like property and even reminded her that she had nothing without him. "You think your beauty will last forever? Look at yourself," he sneered one evening. The words cut Amina deeply. For the first time, she looked in the mirror and saw what she had become. She realized she had wasted her youth chasing temporary pleasures. Years passed, and Amina's life became harder. Chief Kola divorced her and left her with nothing. She returned to Yango village, but things were not the same. Her beauty had faded, and the villagers whispered about her downfall. The girls who once envied her were now nurses, teachers, and business women. Amina could have been great, Mama Zainab said one day, shaking her head. But she wasted her life. Amina's story became a warning for the girls in Yango. Beauty fades, the elders would say, but wisdom lasts forever. When Amina returned to the village, her life was lonely. She stayed in her parents' small house and barely spoke to anyone. She felt ashamed of her past and avoided the people who used to admire her. One day, as she sat under a tree, she saw some girls playing nearby. They laughed and talked about their dreams. "I will become a nurse," one girl said. "I will marry a rich man and never work," another replied. The words stung Amina. She remembered how her dreams had faded because of her choices. She didn't want these girls to make the same mistakes. That night, Amina spoke to her mother. "Mama, I want to help the young girls in the village," she said. Her mother frowned. "But what will you tell them, Amina? People will talk about your past." "I will tell them the truth," Amina replied. "I will use my story to teach them." The next day, Amina went to the village elders. She stood in front of them nervously but spoke with courage. I want to help the young girls in our village, she said. I want to teach them to focus on school, to work hard and not to rely on beauty or shortcuts in life. The elders whispered among themselves. Some were unsure. Why should we trust you? One elder asked. Because I know what happens when you take the wrong path, Amina said. I have lived it. I want to stop others from making my mistakes. After a long discussion, the elders agreed. Amina started a small group for the girls in the village. Every Saturday, they met under the big tree near the market. At first, only a few girls came. They were curious but unsure. Amina will only waste our time, some villagers said. But Amina didn't give up. She spoke to the girls about her life, how she had wasted her youth chasing easy things and how it had left her with nothing. One day, a girl named Shade asked, Sister Amina, what would we do if we have already made mistakes? Amina smiled gently. Everyone makes mistakes, she said, but you can start afresh. It's never too late to make better choices. The girls listened. Slowly, more of them started coming to the meetings. Amina didn't just talk. She started teaching the girls simple skills like sewing and making beads, as she had earlier learned it a little from her mom. She also encouraged them to stay in school. One girl, Halima, came to her crying one day. My parents want me to marry, she said, but I want to finish school. Amina went to Halima's parents and begged them, please let her finish school, she said. She can help your family more if she's educated. The parents agreed and Halima stayed in school. Over time, the villagers began to see Amina differently. The girls in her group started doing well in school. Some even learned skills that helped their families. One day, the chief called Amina to his house. Amina, he said, you have shown us that people can change. We are proud of you. At the next village festival, Amina was asked to speak. She stood in front of the crowd and took a deep breath. I made many mistakes in my life, she said. But I have learned that beauty fades and shortcuts don't last. Hard work and knowledge are what matter most. I want every girl here to know this. You can build a better future if you believe in yourself and work hard. The crowd clapped and some even cried. Amina's life became meaningful. She was no longer the girl who relied on beauty to get what she wanted. Instead, she became a teacher and a helper to the young girls in the village. Her story became a lesson for everyone. The girls who once envied her now respected her. Amina learned that it's never too late to change. She used her pain to guide others and found peace in helping people. Please like, comment, and subscribe.